More than 5 decades ago, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971, transported audiences to a world of pure imagination, led by Gene Wilder's iconic performance and a cast of unforgettable characters. The mischievous golden ticket winners, the Oompa Loompas, and the eccentric candy maker became timeless figures in cinematic history. But what has become of the cast in 2024, 53 years later? From career highs and personal triumphs to tragic losses and surprising turns, the lives of these stars have unfolded in ways as fascinating as the film itself. Take a nostalgic journey to discover where they are now and the legacies they've left behind. Peter Ostrom, born on November 1, 1957, played Charlie Bucket, the innocent and kind-hearted boy who wins a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, in the 1971 film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Ostrom was only 12 years old when he portrayed Charlie, delivering a performance full of sincerity and charm. After the film, Ostrom walked away from Hollywood, choosing instead to become a veterinarian, a career that fulfilled his passion for animals. His decision to leave acting was a personal one, as he sought stability and a life away from the pressures of fame. Ostrom married and had 2 children, leading a relatively quiet and fulfilling life away from the public eye. Despite his lack of interest in returning to acting, Ostrom's role as Charlie Bucket remains a significant part of his life's legacy. As of now, Peter Ostrom is 66 years old, living a peaceful life in upstate New York with his family, and he occasionally reflects on his time in Willy Wonka with fondness but no desire to return to the limelight. Gene Wilder, born on June 11, 1933, played the eccentric Willy Wonka in the film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, captivating audiences with his whimsical and unpredictable portrayal. Wilder was 37 years old during the filming of this iconic role. His childhood was marked by a love for comedy and theater, but he also faced personal challenges. He began his career on stage, studying under legendary acting coach Lee Strasberg. He had a tumultuous love life, with his first marriage to Mary Mercier ending in divorce. His second marriage to actress Gilda Radner in 1984 was a great source of happiness, but Radner's battle with cancer, which led to her death in 1989, left Wilder devastated. He later married Karen Boyer, and they remained together until his passing. Wilder also faced health challenges, particularly in his later years, when he battled Alzheimer's disease. Despite these hardships, his legacy as a beloved actor endures, with many remembering him for his laughter and heart. Gene Wilder passed away on August 29, 2016, at the age of 83. Roy Kinnear was born on January 8, 1934, and is best known for his role as Mr. Salt in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971, where he played the wealthy and indulgent father of Veruca Salt. At 37 years old, Kinnear captured the essence of a father who was both doting and oblivious to his daughter's spoiled behavior. His comedic talent, marked by his exaggerated expressions and physicality, brought a unique layer of humor to the film. However, Kinnear's life was filled with personal struggles. Despite his professional success, he faced the loss of his beloved wife, who passed away from a long illness in the late 1970s, leaving him devastated. He remarried, but his second marriage was marred by tensions and ultimately ended in divorce. Kinnear's career also saw periods of hardship, with several personal and financial setbacks, including a tragic accident on a film set in the late 1980s that caused serious injury. The actor's life was cut short when he died from a heart attack on September 20, 1988, at the age of 54. Julie Dawn Cole, born on October 26, 1957, was just 14 years old when she played the infamous Veruca Salt in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. As the spoiled and demanding girl who wanted everything her way, Julie's performance became iconic in the realm of children's cinema. Growing up in the public eye, Cole struggled with the pressures of fame at such a young age. She experienced a tumultuous childhood with a strained relationship with her parents, who were both involved in the entertainment industry. The fame she garnered from the film was bittersweet, as it led to feelings of isolation and confusion. Julie's first marriage ended in heartbreak when her husband's addiction problems tore the relationship apart, and she was left to raise their 2 children alone. After a few failed relationships, Julie found solace in her work as a psychotherapist, helping others navigate through their own emotional traumas. Now 67 years old, she lives a quieter life, focusing on healing and supporting others, though the echoes of her tumultuous past still shape her. Jack Albertson, born on June 16, 1907, portrayed Grandpa Joe, Charlie Bucket's affectionate grandfather. At 64 years old, Albertson's portrayal of Grandpa Joe, who provides both comic relief and emotional depth, resonated deeply with audiences. He found his calling in theater and film, achieving success in both areas. Despite a career filled with accolades, Albertson's personal life faced numerous challenges. His marriage to actress Dorothy Koblenz was troubled, leading to separation, and he never remarried after their divorce. He faced financial struggles throughout his career, even after gaining fame in television and film. Albertson also suffered health issues in his later years, culminating in his battle with colon cancer, which ultimately claimed his life. His death on November 25, 1981, at the age of 74, marked the end of a career that left an indelible mark on the entertainment world, but his personal life had its fair share of disappointments and setbacks. Leonard Stone, born on November 3, 1923, was 47 years old when he portrayed the proud and somewhat oblivious Mr. Beauregard in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. His role as Violet Beauregard's father showcased his ability to bring a mix of pride and humor to a character who was more interested in his daughter's achievements than in her well-being. Despite his success in Hollywood, Stone's personal life was not without tragedy. He faced severe emotional strain due to his financial struggles in the 1970s and 1980s, exacerbated by his tumultuous marriage. The relationship ended in a bitter divorce after his wife, devastated by personal loss, sought a separation. Stone also battled serious health issues, including a long fight with cancer, which led to his eventual death on November 2, 2011, at the age of 87. Throughout his life, he maintained a love for his craft, though his personal challenges often overshadowed his acting achievements. Nora Denny, born on September 3, 1927, was a seasoned actress by the time she portrayed Mrs. TV, the exasperated mother of Mike TV, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. At 43, Denny brought a unique warmth and humor to the role, contrasting her son's obsession with television with her own bewilderment and frustration. Despite her steady career, Denny faced personal hardships throughout her life. After decades of stage and screen performances, she struggled to find major roles in her later years, facing the challenges that often come with aging in Hollywood. In her personal life, Denny's marriage ended in divorce, and she found herself grappling with the realities of life after her successful years in entertainment. Nora Denny passed away on November 20, 2005, at the age of 78, after battling cancer. Her death was a quiet end to a long, complex life filled with both joy and sorrow. She was survived by her daughter, and her passing marked the end of a life that had seen its fair share of struggles, both on and off the screen. Denise Nickerson was born on April 1, 1957. She played the role of Violet Beauregard, the gum-chewing, self-absorbed girl in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. Nickerson was only 13 years old when she became an iconic part of the film, delivering a memorable performance that has stayed with audiences. She became especially famous for the scene in which Violet turns into a giant blueberry. However, her life was far from the fairy tale one might expect from a starlet. Despite her early success, Nickerson's career was plagued by struggles. She battled with personal issues, including substance abuse and financial troubles that led her to leave acting behind in the late 1970s. Her personal life was also turbulent, marked by a difficult marriage and a strained relationship with her children. She had 2 children, but her marriages did not last, and she lived a reclusive life later on. Tragically, Denise Nickerson suffered a stroke in 2018, which led to her death from complications on July 10, 2019, at the age of 62. Ursula Ahrend was born on March 5, 1914. She portrayed Mrs. Gloop, the overindulgent mother of Augustus Gloop, in the 1971 classic Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Ahrend was 57 years old when she took on the role of the comically exaggerated and doting mother, whose love for her son's insatiable appetite is both humorous and somewhat tragic. Ahrend's early years in Germany were marked by a deep connection to the arts, but her career was not without its struggles. She faced the hardships of being a woman in an industry often dominated by men and had to fight for meaningful roles. Ursula's personal life, too, was marked by turmoil. She had been married, but her relationship suffered due to the pressures of balancing family and career. After her marriage ended, Ahrend experienced loneliness and was often dealing with financial instability. Though she had some success on stage and in television, her later years were marred by health problems and a sense of fading into obscurity. She passed away on November 9, 1998, at the age of 84. Paris Demmen, born on June 25, 1959, played Mike TV, the television-obsessed boy who gets shrunk down to a miniature size in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. At 11 years old, Themen's portrayal of the brash, self-centered Mike was both funny and relatable, as he embodied the era's growing obsession with television. However, life after the film was challenging for Paris. His post-Willy Wonka career never reached the same heights, and he struggled with maintaining stable work in Hollywood. His personal life was not without its difficulties. The men faced financial problems and had to leave acting to explore other career options, including real estate. Despite his early fame, he lived through the ups and downs of post-child star life, struggling with feelings of inadequacy and a lack of career direction. The men never married and kept his private life mostly out of the spotlight. Today, Paris Demmen, at 65 years old, has embraced a quieter life, balancing his time between casting work and real estate. Diana Soul was born on June 19, 1930. She played the role of Mrs. Bucket, the loving and supportive mother of Charlie Bucket, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. Soul was 41 years old at the time, and her portrayal of the hardworking, ever-hopeful mother resonated deeply with audiences. Her character's emotional depth, especially during the Cheer Up Charlie scene, added a humanizing element to the story. Diana's life outside of acting, however, was filled with its own challenges. Raised in a family where financial stability was often a struggle, she worked diligently throughout her career, earning critical praise for her performances on both stage and screen. Despite her success in acting, Soul faced difficulties in her personal life. She had been married, but her marriage ended in divorce after years of emotional strain. Soul did not remarry, and she found solace in her work, though she lived much of her life in relative obscurity after Willy Wonka. Diana passed away on October 19, 2018, at the age of 88. Michael Bowmer was born on September 14, 1958. He played Augustus Gloop, the excessively greedy boy who falls into the chocolate river, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. Bowmer was just 12 years old at the time, and his performance of the gluttonous character became a memorable part of the film. After his role in the movie, Bowmer chose not to pursue acting further, stepping away from the entertainment industry to study and become a tax accountant in Munich. His childhood, however, was not all sunshine and candy. He experienced difficulties with the transition from child actor to everyday life. Despite his success in the film, Bowmer struggled with the pressures and the alienation that often accompanies child stardom. His personal life also faced challenges. He married later in life, but details about his wife and family remain private. There have been rumors about struggles within his marriage, though nothing concrete has emerged about divorce. Michael Bowmer is now 66 years old and still works in the field of taxation. David Batley, born on November 5, 1935, was 35 years old when he played the quirky and forgetful Mr. Turkentine, Charlie Bucket's school teacher. His dry humor and ironic delivery turned the character into a memorable part of the film. Batley, who had a relatively quiet childhood in the UK, spent many years honing his craft in the theatre before moving into television and film. Despite his successes on screen, David faced significant personal challenges, including a period of severe depression that affected both his career and personal life. He struggled with financial instability during the 1980s and 1990s, as acting opportunities became scarcer. His first marriage ended tragically after his wife was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and he found himself caring for her until her passing. Batley then remarried, but his second marriage was fraught with misunderstandings and eventually ended in a quiet separation. Though David never remarried, he did find solace in his work, even as his health declined in his later years. He passed away on January 20, 2003, at the age of 67, from a heart attack. Peter Capel, born on September 3, 1912, portrayed the Tinker in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971, a mysterious character who warns Charlie Bucket about Willy Wonka's factory. At 59, Capel's performance was brief but chilling, bringing a sense of foreboding to the film. Despite a successful career in both film and television, Capel's life behind the scenes was filled with personal struggles. He had been married twice, but neither relationship was particularly happy, with both ending in divorce. He had children, but his family life was strained. Capel's financial troubles mounted in his later years, and he struggled with depression as his acting career slowed down. His personal demons continued to haunt him, leading to an untimely death. On March 3, 1986, Capel passed away at the age of 73, leaving behind a legacy of work that was often overshadowed by the difficult times he faced in his personal life. Aubrey Woods, born on April 9, 1928, was 43 years old when he portrayed Bill, the owner of Bill's Candy Shop, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. His memorable performance of the Candyman became a highlight of the film, as he brought a playful and whimsical quality to the character. Growing up in London, Woods had a difficult childhood, marked by financial instability after his father's sudden death when Aubrey was just 10 years old. As his acting career flourished, Woods experienced the highs of critical acclaim and the satisfaction of stage and screen performances. However, his personal life was far less stable. His marriage to his first wife ended in divorce after several years, as they drifted apart due to his relentless work schedule and her increasing health issues. Aubrey remarried but faced further hardships with the decline of his second wife's mental health, which led to an emotionally taxing separation. In his later years, Woods continued to perform but was often grappling with loneliness. He passed away on May 7, 2013, at the age of 85, due to natural causes. Gunther Meisner, born on April 18, 1926, was 45 years old when he played the sinister Mr. Slugworth in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Known for his portrayal of villains, Meisner's performance as Slugworth added a layer of tension and mystery to the film. Meisner's early years in Germany were filled with turmoil, having grown up during World War II, which left lasting scars on him both emotionally and psychologically. Despite a successful acting career in Europe, he battled with alcoholism, which affected both his personal relationships and professional opportunities. His first marriage crumbled due to his addiction issues, and he faced years of isolation before eventually finding stability in a second marriage. However, tragedy struck again when his second wife passed away suddenly from cancer, leaving Meisner heartbroken. His health began to decline in the 1990s, and he struggled with his weight and chronic illnesses. He passed away on December 5, 1994, at the age of 68, due to heart failure. Kurt Grossgirth, born on May 11, 1909, played Mr. Gloop, the indulgent father of Augustus Gloop, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. At 62, Grossgirth's portrayal of a father enabling his son's gluttonous behavior added a comedic touch to the film. A well-known figure in German cinema and television, Grossgirth had a long career in the entertainment industry. Yet, his life was marred by tragedy. Despite his success, he faced personal loss, including the death of close family members. His family life was strained, and although he had children, his relationship with them was distant. On top of this, Girth struggled with financial difficulties as he grew older, which put an additional strain on his well-being. The final tragedy in his life came when he was involved in a fatal traffic accident on May 29, 1975, at the age of 66. His passing was a sudden and tragic end to a life that had experienced both fame and personal hardship. Werner Haking, born on June 14, 1913, played Mr. Jopek, the shopkeeper who sells Charlie Bucket the winning chocolate bar, in Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, 1971. At the age of 58, Haking's portrayal of the friendly, helpful shopkeeper brought warmth to the film, adding a touch of kindness in a story filled with eccentric characters. However, Haking's own life was filled with sadness. Though his career spanned several decades, including both film and television, he struggled with finding lasting happiness in his personal life. He was married, but his relationship was fraught with difficulties, and they eventually separated. Despite his successful career, Haking faced financial difficulties, which led to feelings of insecurity and bitterness in his later years. His health declined rapidly, and he was diagnosed with cancer. Werner Haking passed away on October 10, 1974, at the age of 61, a victim of the same struggles that had plagued much of his personal life. Victor Beaumont, born on November 7, 1912, played the role of the doctor who examines Grandpa Joe in Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, 1971. At 58, Beaumont's portrayal added a calm, authoritative presence to the film, which was otherwise filled with wild fantasy. Despite a steady acting career in film and television, Beaumont's personal life was marred by tragedy. He was married, but his marriage was troubled, and his wife struggled with mental health issues. Beaumont's own mental health also deteriorated over the years, and he became reclusive, finding it difficult to maintain personal relationships. He experienced a significant loss in his life with the death of a child, which deeply affected him. These personal tragedies led to a downward spiral, and his health suffered. Victor Beaumont passed away on March 21, 1977, at the age of 64, succumbing to complications from a long illness. His death marked the end of a career that had been overshadowed by the personal and emotional pain he had endured. Tim Brook Taylor was born on July 17, 1940. He played the role of the computer operator in Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, 1971. Brook Taylor was 30 years old when he brought his comedic talents to this small yet memorable role. Known for his work in the British comedy series The Goodies, Tim became a beloved figure in comedy, renowned for his witty and gentle performances. However, his life was not free from personal struggles. While his career thrived, he faced the pressures of maintaining a public image and working in a competitive industry. In his personal life, Brook Taylor experienced the ups and downs common to many public figures. He married, but the relationship was reportedly difficult at times, with rumors of emotional strain. He had 2 children, but much of his family life remained relatively private. Tim Brook Taylor's later years were touched by the global pandemic of COVID-19, which tragically claimed his life on April 12, 2020, at the age of 79. Walker Edmiston, born on February 6, 1926, was the voice behind the menacing Mr. Slugworth in Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, 1971. At 45 years old, Edmiston lent a mysterious and threatening tone to the character, making him one of the more memorable figures in the film despite his relatively limited screen time. Walker Edmiston's career, primarily as a voice actor and puppeteer, was a testament to his versatility, and he worked on a variety of projects over the years, including Sesame Street and The Muppets. However, Edmiston's personal life was far from peaceful. He had a tumultuous marriage that ended in divorce, which took a toll on his emotional health. His financial struggles were compounded by a battle with cancer, which became the final tragedy of his life. Edmiston was married twice and had children, but his family life was marked by tension. His decline in health left him vulnerable, and he passed away on February 15, 2007, at the age of 81. Despite his success in the entertainment industry, his personal demons followed him to the end. Martin Bormann, born on June 17, 1900, is not a part of the cast of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory in the traditional sense, as he appeared only in archive footage used in the film. Bormann, a high-ranking Nazi official and head of the Nazi Party Chancellery, was 44 years old when he died in May 1945, committing suicide using hydrogen cyanide. Although his appearance in the film was incidental, it underscores a rather disturbing twist of fate, being part of a movie set in a fantastical world while his real-life legacy was deeply tied to one of history's most tragic chapters. The tragic irony of Bormann's life is that his career and eventual escape after the fall of Berlin cast a shadow over his personal life as well. He was rumored to have left behind a family that suffered under the burden of his infamy. Martin Bormann's death at the age of 44 marked the end of a notorious life, though he remains a figure of both historical infamy and an eerie inclusion in the whimsical world of Willy Wonka. Michael Goodliff, born on October 1, 1914, played Mr. TV, the father of the television-obsessed Mike TV, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. Goodliff, at 56, brought a sense of exasperation and concern to his role, embodying the frustration of a parent who is unable to control his son's behavior. Goodliff's career in film and television was notable, and he was often cast as authoritative figures, but his personal life was overshadowed by deep inner turmoil. Goodliff's marriage was fraught with difficulty, and his struggle with mental health led to a series of depressive episodes. These personal battles were too much to bear, and despite his professional success, he was unable to find peace. Tragically, Michael Goodliff died by suicide on March 20, 1976, at the age of 61. His death was a heart-wrenching reminder of the personal challenges many face, even when their professional lives appear successful. Frank Delfino, born on February 13, 1911, was 60 years old when he portrayed the British announcer in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. Known for his distinguished presence, Delfino's role added a unique touch to the film. He spent his early years in a working-class neighborhood and pursued a career in radio, where he quickly gained a reputation for his deep voice and commanding delivery. Delfino's early career successes, however, were overshadowed by personal struggles. In the 1940s, he faced a period of financial instability and depression as his radio career waned with the rise of television. His personal life was also marred by hardship, as he lost his first wife to cancer, leaving him to raise their 2 children alone. Despite remarrying later in life, Delfino's health began to fail. In his final years, he struggled with the emotional toll of his first wife's death and the burden of caring for an ailing spouse. Frank Delfino passed away on February 19, 1997, at the age of 86, due to bone marrow cancer. George Clayton was born on September 4, 1933. He appeared as one of the Oompa Loompa in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971, playing a role that remains etched in the film's whimsical legacy. At 37 years old, Clayton's performance added to the enchantment of the factory, and his portrayal of the Oompa Loompa brought a magical element to the story. However, George Clayton's personal life had its own set of tragedies. Born into a working-class family, he faced the realities of struggling to make a name for himself in the competitive world of acting. Despite his memorable performance in Willy Wonka, his career in the entertainment industry did not see significant growth, and he often found himself relegated to smaller roles. His marriage, while not widely publicized, reportedly faced difficulties as well. Behind the scenes, Clayton was said to battle with personal demons, including financial instability and a sense of being overlooked in the industry. He passed away on October 4, 2001, at the age of 68, after a life marked by obscurity and personal hardship. Pat Kums, born on August 27, 1926, was 44 years old when she portrayed Henrietta Salt, the indulgent and somewhat exasperated mother of Veruca Salt, in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. Known for her long career in British television and radio, Kums brought a unique blend of comedy and warmth to the role. Growing up in London during the war, Kums faced the hardships of rationing and the emotional toll of a divided society. As she entered her career, she became a staple in British comedy, known for her versatile acting, yet her personal life was more tumultuous. Kums married at a young age, but her marriage ended in divorce after several years, as her spouse struggled with alcohol addiction. She remarried later, but that union was short-lived as well, marked by conflicts over her demanding career and her husband's frequent absences. As her health began to decline in the later years, Kums battled emphysema, which ultimately took her life at the age of 75 on May 25, 2002. Malcolm Dixon, born on September 1, 1934, was 37 years old when he portrayed one of the Oompa Loompa in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. His contribution to the whimsical, magical atmosphere of the film is unforgettable. Dixon's childhood was spent in relative obscurity, but he faced an unusual challenge as a child due to his dwarfism, which led to social isolation. He found solace in acting, eventually carving a niche for himself in fantasy and science fiction films. However, Dixon's career, while memorable, was not without personal struggle. As an adult, he faced financial instability due to the limited roles available for actors of his stature. His first marriage ended in divorce after years of emotional strain, as his career did not provide the financial security his wife had hoped for. Later, Dixon married again, but the relationship was marked by his wife's ongoing health issues and the pressures of his own mental health struggles. Dixon also faced long periods of physical pain as he dealt with various health issues related to his condition. He passed away on April 9, 2020, at the age of 85. Who is your favorite character from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.